Welcome back, everybody, to For the Sake of the Parlay. Today is April 20th, 2026, and what we're going to do today is review yesterday's parlay of the day and also give you a special 420 parlay of the day. Shout out to those who partake. Be safe, have fun, and enjoy this video. But before we get into today's video, let me tell you why you should subscribe. We are PPCs here, okay? PPCs are professional parlay creators. This is literally my full-time job. Some of y'all might not believe me, but I am dead serious. Next, this channel is a collaborative channel consisting of two people. We're lucky to have two PPCs on this channel, the architect and the voice. Obviously, I'm the voice, but the architect is really the one doing a lot of planning, designing, and managing throughout the parlay making process. Without the architect, there would be no channel or none of these parlays. Lastly, we are giving you free daily content and picks with receipts. This is our 14th day in a row posting parlays with reviews. We're showing you our actual betting slip, the results. We're going to keep posting and showing you the results because we don't get tired like Kevin Gates and we ain't never scared like Bone Crusher. We ain't new to this, we are true to this, y'all. Now do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button and do it for the sake of the parlay. We are going to start off by reviewing yesterday's parlay of the day. But before we do, I have to remind y'all that as professional parlay creators, we give you the ingredients, which are the picks for your parlay, and then that recipe is your parlay ticket. Alright, and then what you have to do is let your parlay cook, and that is waiting for your results. Now we have some channel breaking news, y'all. After consulting with the architect, we took our first ever cash out on our parlay of the day. Now here is the parlay cash out. We wound up taking it because on this ticket, the Colorado Avalanche came through for us. Then the Montreal Canadiens were up in their game, yet our over 7 runs in the Detroit Tigers and Boston Red Sox game was only at 6 runs going into the 9th inning. Each team wound up scoring 1 run each in the 9th inning, but for the sake of our parlay, we decided to cash out. Now let's check out my man from Instagram to show you why cashing out is an excellent option.
Cash out bets be looking great after they go away. When they there, you be like, I'm only up $40. I don't really want to do it. I could win $200. But when they go away, you like, bro, I could have been up $40. Man, I could have had all my initial bread, bro. Please come back.
We made a good decision to cash out because in the end it didn't matter. Yesterday was the best parlay to date in our channel, and here are the results after that cash out. We wound up going 7 out of 8 picks. Montreal wound up winning on the puck line outright, so the 1+5 puck line hit. The Vegas Golden Knights won their game 4-2, so the under 6.5 hit. That Detroit Tigers Red Sox game wound up going over 7, but we took the cash out at the beginning of the 9th inning. The Colorado Avalanche beat the LA Kings 2-1. Julian Champagny had 2 threes against the Portland Trail Blazers. Bang will wind up having 17 points and 16 rebounds to cover for his points and rebounds prop of 20, and Jalen Suggs recorded 5 rebounds against the Detroit Pistons. The only bet that didn't hit for us was Drew Holiday not scoring 12 or more points. He scored 9 points in 35 minutes, and it didn't matter since we made the cash out on the parlay way before this game had even started. Had we let the parlay play out, we more than likely could have secured a higher cash out amount. However, we cashed out to secure our first win for the sake of the parlay. Speaking of cash outs are a great option when given the opportunity to cash out. You can either gain a little profit or get some of your initial investment back. However, we have made the decision that there will be no more cash outs on our parlays of the day going forward. We want to show you that this can be done, and we only cashed out to show our followers that it can be a great option if you are able to do it. Since we cashed out early, we decided to use that money to create another parlay. Here's that parlay right here. I'm not going to go over it in detail since it wasn't yesterday's original parlay of the day. However, we still wound up going 6 out of 8 using that cash out amount from yesterday's parlay of the day. Next, we're going to talk about our alternate line suggestions from yesterday. Since 7 out of our 8 bets hit, it just so happened that all of our alternate line suggestions hit as well. This would make 16 out of 18 right since April 10th, 2026 on our channel. Now let's take a look at what we recommended. First of all, we recommended the under 7.5 for the Vegas Golden Knights Utah Mammoth game. The posted line was 6.5. That's what we took in our parlay and that won. So obviously, if you took the recommended higher total, you won as well. Next, we recommended Bang to get at least 15 points. He came through for us and scored 17, which was good for our bet. We actually took him to get 20 plus points and rebounds, and he wound up doing that anyway. Lastly, we recommended the over 5.5 in the Detroit Tigers versus Boston Red Sox game. Garrett Crochet wound up giving up 5 runs himself. Framber Valdez of the Tigers gave up 1, and both teams' bullpen gave up 1 run each in the 9th inning. This bet literally came down to the wire, and Crochet performed as I expected. So for the sake of the parlay, the over 7 runs for our bet hit. Here's today's parlay of the day for April 20th, 2026. First of all, we're going to take Julius Randle to get 6+ rebounds against the Denver Nuggets. Then we're going to take the Philadelphia Flyers on the puck line at plus 1.5 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then we're going to take the under 11.5 in the Dodgers-Rockies game. Then we're going to take the Dallas Stars to win on the money line against the Minnesota Wild. Then we're going to take Pete Alonso to record 1+ hit, run, or RBI. Then we're going to take the alternate line of 5.5 goals in the Anaheim Ducks and Edmonton Oilers game. And lastly, we're going to take a same game parlay with Jalen Brunson to record 2+ threes and Josh Hart to record 15+ points and rebounds against the Atlanta Hawks. Here are the explanations behind each bet in today's parlay of the day for April 20th, 2026. The first bet is Julius Randle to record 6+ rebounds versus the Denver Nuggets. It's not much to think about here. Julius Randle is a starter and he averaged 6 rebounds all season. He recorded 7 rebounds in 31 minutes in his loss to the Nuggets on Saturday. I expect him to be very aggressive and motivated to try to even the series out against the Nuggets, and he should definitely get at least 6 rebounds. Next, we're taking the Philadelphia Flyers on the puck line against the Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 1.5. I feel like the Flyers are arguably the better team. Also, Dan Vladar, the goalie for the Flyers, is expected to start again in the series. He's by far the best goalie in the series. And lastly, the Flyers outright won on Saturday, so I expect them to at least keep it close and possibly win again, especially with Vladar back in goal. Next, we are taking the under 11.5 in the Dodgers-Rockies game. The Rockies won yesterday 9-6. However, we have 2 above-average pitchers pitching in Robleski and Quintana. Robleski has been great so far this season, and if Quintana can get through the first couple of innings, this game should go under. Also, this game should probably be around a total of 8 or 9, but it's inflated because the game is being played in Coors Field, which is by far the best hitters park in the MLB. However, I still like this game to go under 11.5. Next, we're going to take Dallas to win against the Minnesota Wild at home. I like Dallas because they're the better team, and even though they lost last game, they won 4 out of their 5 last games, and they're more consistent and they're really good at home, so I like the Dallas Stars to win at home. Next, we're taking Pete Alonso of the Baltimore Orioles to record at least 1 hit, run, or RBI. Pete Alonso currently has 8 hits in 10 games. He also is by far the best Orioles power hitter. One very interesting thing about Pete Alonso and Kansas City Royals pitcher Seth Lugo is they are former teammates and still friends. That is something most people probably wouldn't bring up while breaking down this game. However, since they are friends, I think this is more likely for Alonso to get a hit, but not a home run type of deal. They both don't want to ruin each other's stats, and this leads me to believe that Alonso will get a hit or 2. Next, we are taking the alternate line of over 5.5 goals in the Anaheim Ducks versus Edmonton Oilers game. Both teams have explosive offenses, and Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers is arguably one of the best players in the NHL. Also, both teams have questionable and inconsistent goaltending. I really like the over 6.5, but the over 5.5 is a better bet for the sake of the parlay. I do believe there will be many goals scored, but taking the over 5.5 will be the better bet to adjust for playoff gameplay. Next, we are taking Jalen Brunson to record 2+ threes and Josh Hart to record 15+ rebounds and points. This one's pretty simple. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are starters and both played 36 and 37 minutes respectively in their last game. They clearly will be on the court for most of the game. This gives them plenty of opportunity to come through for us. Jalen Brunson is a pure scorer and Josh Hart is a hustler and is very scrappy, and they both should cover just purely off playing a lot of minutes in the game. Alright, here's what you've been waiting for. This has been the best part of our channel so far, especially when you're building your parlay, but here are the alternate lines and suggestions for today, April 20th, 2026. First of all, we are recommending taking the Philadelphia Flyers on the puck line at plus 2.5. Like I mentioned before, I do feel like the Flyers are arguably the better team and they have more upside. Also, the Flyers won outright as underdogs on Saturday, so giving them a 2.5 cushion is a great bet. I like the Flyers to keep it a close game, and they could possibly win. Next, we're going to recommend taking the under 13 in the Dodgers-Rockies game. I do feel like if this game wasn't being played at Coors Field, the total would be around 8 or 9. We took them at under 11.5 runs, so if you're giving yourself extra cushion in this case, we could do it in case the game gets really bad early. Robleski is pitching amazing so far this season, and Quintana is a seasoned veteran. They both should pitch well, and this game should go under. Lastly, we are recommending taking Julius Randle to record at least 4 rebounds. As I mentioned earlier, he has averaged 6 all season, and he should get a boost in productivity due to playing more in a playoff game. Also, taking the prop at 4 rebounds is extremely low for a forward who's going to get a lot of minutes in a playoff basketball game in which he plays a lot around the paint, so he should definitely record 4 very easily. Just remember, when selecting alternate lines, you want to give yourself a better number, aka more cushion, if possible. For example, in today's Dodgers-Rockies game, we took the under 11.5, but the recommended under of 13 is way better than 11.5. Also, when you do give yourself a better number, oftentimes it will result in it being less odds and less of a payout. For example, that under 11.5 is minus 112, and that is better odds than taking the under of 13 at minus 250. Thank you for watching the video. We'll be back tomorrow with another parlay of the day. And just remember, winners never quit. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and one good parlay will make your day. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow with another video and another parlay of the day.